Moving to China is exciting, but slightly terrifying. Once you come here, you'll encounter a completely different digital ecosystem from the one you're used to. And everything, and I mean everything, goes through it: rent, groceries, doctor's appointments. So miss a couple of these apps, and your life might be a little bit stressful for a couple of weeks. So before I came here, I did a little research, and I'm joking, I did a lot of research, and I found a lot of information scattered and a lot of contradicting information as well. Do I really need 1,000 apps to survive in China? Absolutely not. So, this is my simple guide, I would say, to help you navigate through this system. And I want to highlight that this guide is not aimed at travelers, but I do confess that a lot of influencers definitely overreact about the recommendations. You do not need 1,000 apps to be here traveling in China, okay? But if you must know, some of the recommendations I have, you might need only for the first year. This because I'm splitting this guide into three. The first year is what you absolutely need even before arriving in China. Second year is what you need once you're in China. And the third year is optional, it's you don't need it, but it might be handful to have it. I also like to highlight that this video is definitely not sponsored, okay? These are my recommendations from my personal experiences, from feedback from my friends, and yeah, these are not paid, okay? And they are also not tutorials on how to use any of these apps. If you want a tutorial that will help you to guide how to set an account or something, you can definitely find better tutorials and better videos out there. This is just a quick video to explain you what you need and to explain what each one of these apps works for you. What do they do? So without any delay, let's dive in. As I promised, let's start with tier 1. Tier 1 are the non-negotiables. These are the apps you want to have in your phone. If not, you might have a hard time here in a couple of weeks. So let's start with Alipay. Alipay is a digital wallet. What you must know here is that in China, cash is basically useless, and most of the payments are done through Alipay. And you want to set up this before you arrive here, because once you get here, you'll want to pay for a taxi, for food, for a bottle of water. And if you don't have Alipay, I'm sorry, but it's going to take longer to get the stuff you want. So set it up in your home country. You can set up international cards without a problem. What I did was I put my Revolut card in it, because this way I can also convert from euros to RMB without too many conversion fees. And I'd like to also point out that some actions, some services are limited. So, for example, with an international bank card, you cannot do top up, you cannot pay bills, you cannot pay utilities or transfer money from one user to the other one. But for now, that's fine. You'll just need it for the first day so you can live, basically. And when it comes to utilities, you can later do that once you have a Chinese bank account. Did I mention you need Wi-Fi to use Alipay? This is why I'm taking you to the second app, which is an eSIM. In my case, I used Holafly, and I recommend, it doesn't need to be Holafly, okay? This is just the one I used, but get an eSIM plan for 7 to 10 days, just enough until you get here and you look for a Chinese telecommunications company and create your own local package with a data plan. What I did with my friend was to cut some costs. We were 2 people, so we bought eSIM from Holafly for 10 days, and then from one device you shared it into all of our other devices, so you don't need one eSIM for each phone or each computer or whatever. I also like to make this a warning, which is a lot of the companies here, or if not all, they don't use eSIMs. So once you're getting a Chinese local number, it will be through a physical SIM card. So make sure you have a phone that accepts a physical card. The third one I like to say is Google Translator. And no, I'm not getting paid for all these recommendations, but it's just great. You'd be surprised on how low the English level here is, and that is there's an actual English level. Sometimes it's pretty much non-existent. So, it's easy. You just write whatever you need to tell the other person. The other person speaks to you, and the Google Translator will translate it to you. You can also translate menus in case you don't want to order something that's too spicy for your stomach. Or did I mention that you can also scroll through Taobao? I'll get in that one sec. Scroll through Taobao or scroll through Chinese apps that do not have an English version and get the translation live. So please, I'm pretty sure there are other translating apps, but this is the one I use because it was already on my phone. So yeah, this one's a lifesaver. And last but not least, a VPN. And this is where I draw the line. All of the other free ones I mentioned are good for travelers. From here on, I don't think it's really that necessary. So VPN, there's this thing in China called the Great Firewall. Yes, that's the name. And basically it blocks most of the apps you might be used to. We're talking about social media like Facebook, Instagram, but also Google services, so YouTube, WhatsApp, and in order to access those, you need a VPN. Now, what is really important is that you set this VPN before you arrive to China. All of these, but especially this one. Why? Because if you don't download it and create an account and pay a plan or something, now, once you're here, it will be blocked, so you cannot download a VPN. And I'm pretty sure there are ways to go around that, but why bother? Okay, just make your life easier, download it now, set everything up now. Again, tourists do not need this. Why? Because your eSIM from Holafly or whatever you're getting, it most likely has some sort of VPN. It's too technical. I'm not going to explain how it works, but with this eSIM, you don't need it. Once you have a local number, once you're using local Wi-Fi, like a Wi-Fi connection here, you will be blocked. So you need this VPN. When it comes to recommendations, please don't go along on NordVPN, ExpressVPN. They do not work. I don't know who's getting paid to say that these work. They do not work. I've seen it. It doesn't work. So I did this extensive Reddit research, and you have Astrill VPN and Mullvad VPN. Me and my friend got both because we're splitting costs, and each VPN allows you to have something around 5 connected devices at the same time. So it should work fine. Astrill is slightly expensive, but we went for both because we're just afraid that one of them would fail. So it's like a backup, each one of them. And they've been working fine. If you only get one VPN, I think you'll also manage. It's just that sometimes it might be for a couple of hours down, maximum a day, but it will get back eventually. So yeah, this is a very important one, a VPN. So tier 2 are those apps that are still important, but you can get them once you are here. We can start with WeChat. WeChat is your everything app. It's for messaging, payments, bookings, and I did mention payments. Payments are mostly done through Alipay, but also in some cases like street markets or vending machines, WeChat is the way to go. And like Alipay, you can set up an international bank card, although I was only able to do that once I was in China. For some reason, I couldn't put my bank cards in WeChat back in my home country. So maybe you should wait and put it here. It also has some limitations like Alipay. So for example, you cannot top up your phone bill or pay utilities or transfer money without a Chinese bank card. So you won't need that in the beginning, but yeah, a bank account in China, if you're staying here for more than a couple of months, is kind of handy. Another thing is, for you to create a WeChat account, you might need a reference from a friend. So when you're creating an account, it asks for someone to scan a QR code, and you need that person to be next to you, or I don't know, just do a video call, share the screen, take a screenshot, because that's just the way it works. I guess it's for safety or to prevent bots or fake accounts there. The second one is Amap. Amap. It's like Google Maps basically, but just better, at least here, because Google doesn't work that well here. So Amap is the way to go for bus routes, how to get from point A to B, reviews, because if people don't use Google here, you don't have restaurants reviews or store reviews. So just download Amap and you'll be fine. Finally, you have tier free. These are like optional apps that might make your life easier, but not necessary. So first we have Didi, and I'm sure you use Didi a lot. It's like Uber, and it's quite easy to use, it's quite affordable, but the reason why I put it as just optional is because you have Didi inside Alipay. So both Alipay and WeChat are, let's say, super apps, and they have mini programs inside, which is like a simplified version of an app. So you don't need to download. If you're like me, I hate downloading 1,000 apps on my phone. So it's nice to have everything inside. You don't need to download Didi. I've heard that if you have the app in itself, you get more discounts, but I don't know, I've been doing just fine. But either way, you can test it. And if it's your first time using Didi, you can use my code for you to get 15 RMB off your first ride. The other one is Taobao or JD.com, but mostly Taobao for me. I'm a big fan of Taobao. I'm thinking about doing a video just focused on that. Basically, it's like Amazon on steroids, and the only downside I would say is that it's fully in Chinese, so it might be a bit tricky in the beginning for you to get used to it. But after you get used to it, to making purchases, it's quite user-friendly. So if I don't even understand the language and I'm able to make purchases, just imagine how the user experience is. And I think there's a lot of learnings you can take from that. But also you can use, once again, Google Translator that will translate your screen as you scroll down. But yeah, it's definitely easy to use, which is terrible for my wallet, but you can buy anything: clothing, furniture, food, skincare, anything. And then when it comes to JD, I haven't tried it, but I think it's much more foreigner friendly, and it's also more, let's say, clean. I don't know how to describe it, but just Google it and you'll get what I mean. We also have Meituan. I'm so afraid of pronouncing this wrong. I'm gonna murder all of these names. But Meituan is like Uber Eats as well. You can order food and they will bring you home. You'll see a lot of these yellow bikes going around your town. And yeah, those are the Meituan delivery guys. They also, Meituan is also for bike riding. So again, like Uber, you can rent a bike or a scooter and you just go for a ride or whatever you want to go. And that's the app. Why I put it as optional once again, because Meituan is inside WeChat. It's a mini program as well. Last but not least, we have this one, which I don't remember the number in full length, but it's a train booking app. And the reason why I also say that this is optional is because, again, it's inside Alipay. You can also find high-speed trains here. And, you can find these train tickets on trip.com or other websites, but they will apply a fee on top of it. So usually it's more expensive than the ones you can find on this app. And yeah, that's it. I think we got to the end. Again, guys, I think I tried to simplify this as much as possible. I'm sure there are other options out there or another alternatives to the apps I just mentioned. I tried to use the ones from my experience. I tried to follow the user journey, what I needed at what time. And I think that if you follow this, you won't have big issues in the digital system. So, just tell me if you think I've made something. If you do have questions about any of these apps, you can ask me, but at the same time, if you need like an actual tutorial, I'm pretty sure there are out there some people that will be able to explain you even better how to set up accounts and download stuff. And I hope you enjoyed it and see you around. Bye!